Hi, second grade, Mrs. Houts here, and welcome to math class. Today is Monday, October 5th, 2020. And here are 3 ways that you can write today's date. Today we are moving on to lesson 2.8, and the title of this lesson is Different Ways to Show Numbers. Our essential question, our big question we're focusing on is, how can we use blocks or quick pictures to show the value of a number in different ways? So please take out your book and turn to page 85. Page 85. Okay, this word problem is for page 85, and you have 2 blank spots on this page to draw pictures and fill in information as I do, so please follow along. Mrs. Peabody has 35 books on a cart to take to classrooms. She can use boxes that each hold 10 books, and she can also place single books on the cart. What are 2 different ways she can put the books on a cart? Draw quick pictures to solve. Write how many 10s and 1s. Okay, to start, let's take a yellow crayon or highlighter, or just circle with your pencils, and let's circle or highlight over important things that we read. First, there are 35 books. Next, an important thing is that boxes can hold 10 books. That means we can use a base 10 block to show that box. And then last, she can also put single books. That would be like a 1 block. Okay, how could we draw this? Let's try just using 10 blocks. So can you skip count with me? 10, 20, 30. Oh, we have to use 1 blocks now to show those single books, the ones that aren't in a box. So we have 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Now we can see that Mrs. Peabody could have three boxes of 10 books and then 5 books that are by themselves. So down here, we can fill it in. How many 10s do we have? 3 10s. Remember, that's the same thing as 30. And how many 1s? 5 1s. Now, what's another way that we can show base 10 blocks to show these 35 books? Let's just use 2 10 blocks this time and then use 1 blocks. 10, 20. How many 10s do we have? 2. And that's the same thing as saying 20. Let's keep going with 1 blocks all the way to 35. So we have 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. And then remember, we can circle 10 1s to help us count and figure out how many 1 blocks we have total. So right here I have 10 1s. And then over here I have 5 1s. 10 plus 5? I have 15 1s. So both of these quick pictures and place value tells us the same amount, which is 35. Model and draw. Here are 2 ways to show 148. So we look at our base 10 blocks and we count them to figure out how many 100s, 10s, and 1s we have, just like how we've been practicing. So for the first picture, we have 100 block. How many 10 blocks do we have? 4 10 blocks, which is the same thing as saying 40. And how many 1 blocks do we have? 8 ones. Now let's look at the other picture. In this one, we can see that we don't have any hundreds blocks. So let's put 0. And just like how we practiced last week and the week before, we can count out 10 10 blocks, because 10 10 blocks is the same thing as 100. And that can help us to see how much we have. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's circle those 10 10 blocks to show that that is 100. So we have 10 10 blocks, but we still have some left over. Let's keep counting. 11, 12, 13, 14. How many 10 blocks do we have total right here? 14, which is the same thing as 140. And then our ones block stays the same. We have 8. Both of these quick pictures, or base 10 blocks, show the same number, 148. It just shows it in different ways. We've practiced this before. We're going to continue today to practice to use these base 10 blocks in quick pictures. Okay, let's look down at the share and show box. The directions say, write how many hundreds, tens, and ones are in the model. So both of these pictures and place value charts are with this number, 213. So let's look at the first picture. How many hundreds blocks do we have? 2 hundreds blocks. Remember, that's the same thing as saying 200. How many tens blocks do we have? 110, which is the same thing as saying 10. And how many ones blocks do we have? 3 ones, which would be the same thing, 3. So that's one way to show 213. Let's look at the other picture. Okay, let's start. How many hundreds? 1, 2. So that's staying the same as the other, 2 hundreds. Do you see any 10 blocks? Nope, so let's put a 0 in that spot in a place value chart. And then let's count our ones blocks. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How many ones blocks? 13 1 blocks. Which, if we add together 200 plus 0 plus 13, it would still equal 213, which is the same thing that this picture is showing. Number 2, 132. Let's count those 10 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's pause and circle to show we have 100 right here with our 10 blocks. 11, 12, 13. How many 10 blocks do we have? We have 13 10 blocks. And I got a little ahead of myself. Did we have any 100 blocks? So we put 0. And then how many little 1 blocks do we have? 2 1 blocks. So this 13 tens is the same thing as saying 130. And when we add those 2 1 blocks right there, that gives us our total, the original number of 132. Okay, let's look at a different way to show it. How many hundreds do we have? 100. How many tens do we have? 2 tens. So far we have 100 plus 20. And then let's count our ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many ones? 12. So this is 100 plus 20 plus 12. Can you add that together for a second? Pause the video if needed. What'd you get? 132, which is the same thing our other pictures showed. We're showing it in a different way. Now let's skip ahead to number 5 on the next page. You can go back and practice the other problems after. Number 5 says, Sue said that 200 plus 20 plus 23 is the same as 200 plus 30 plus 3. Is she correct? Explain. All right, let's look first at this expanded form and let's draw it. So please, on your paper, draw this with me. 200 plus 20 plus 23. So remember, this is hundreds, tens, and ones. So 23 ones. Okay, so now I have that shown in my base 10 blocks. Now I'm going to show the other expanded form with base 10 blocks. 200 plus 30 plus 3. Remember your hundreds, tens, and ones. So 200s would be 200 blocks. 30 would be 3 10 blocks because we have 10, 20, 30. And then we have 3 1 blocks. 1, 2, 3. Take a moment to look at these. Notice on this side, I circled my ones that add up to 10. So our number on this side would be 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 241, 242, 243. That's how much we're showing on this side. Okay, on this side we're showing 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 231, 232, 233. That's how much is shown on this side. So are these two number sentences the same? No, we have an extra 10 in this first number sentence that I have written in green. There's a whole extra 10 right here, this one, that is not on the other side. Well, the other side has 3 10s, and we have 3 10s right here. this extra 10 changes the number. So we have 243, which is bigger than 233. Today for your activity, please complete page P37 in your practice workbook. It looks like this. And you do not have to turn in a picture of it, but if you would like to, or if you're a little confused and you want us to check your work, please turn in a picture. Then please go on to Clever and click on the ST Math app and play on ST Math for 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you, second grade.